Morning folks, this is just a quick little video. There's more and more things coming about where it's all this you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. And here's another example. This is Rail Rukshan. Sorry mate if I can't pronounce your name properly. This is his video. But basically the whole thing, and you'll find a video on my channel from a few years ago about, is it the NHS collapsing versus the stealing of everybody's properties. Everything that's going on is about boomeranging home ownership back into the hands of government. They've strangled pensioners for years and years to force them to have to sell up to pay for their elderly care. They've also done this more via privatisation of care homes. And an example of that is, if you speak to people that have got relatives in care homes, they've had to relinquish the value of their wealth estates, which is especially their houses, to pay for their care home stay. And when the person or the resident dies, the probate stage kicks in and the insurance companies come and swoop in and take as much as they want before your kids get to inherit. And the exercise there is that the kids don't get to inherit a free paid for house that their parents paid for. Why? Because properties are highly lucrative. They're the most expensive thing that everybody on the planet needs, and they don't get moved around. You know, so they're built in a place, they stay on that spot of land, and they generate a perpetual income. Now, the other thing is, all this COVID malarkey that's gone on, we know that it's absolutely obliterated people's wealth. It's stolen billions or trillions of pounds out of the working class, the poor and the middle class, and it's all gone up and up and up to the rich. The rich keep getting richer and richer. They're strangling people's mortgages. They're going to put interest rates up and up and up. We've seen the electric, gas, energy rates just shoot through the roof. The same with petrol and diesel. And it's all still designed to wreck everybody's wealth estates. So the bottom line is, nobody dies having a paid for house that they can give to their kids. Now, part of it is because banks make money through selling mortgage contracts for the most part, because as you know, or if you don't know, banks don't lend money. You go to borrow money from a bank, and what you're actually doing is getting the bank as the only authorised corporation on the land to generate a credit advancement from the trust account that's generated just through your birth certificate being. And it's not Freeman on the land stuff, this isn't. This is how they do it. So you pretend, well, the bank pretends to lend you money, but what they actually do is generate advance credit in your own name out of a private trust account that you've got no access or control to, but the government and the banks have. So they're effectively giving you your own money to go buying a house with and not lending you a penny, but you're still paying them back with interest because you think that they've lent you that money. The whole thing is an absolute scam. But the thing that happens after you've had your mortgage is the bank portfolio your contract or mortgage agreement worth the value of the amount that you've borrowed. They multiply it by anything up to say 25 times the borrowed amount, and they flog them to hedge funds and property speculators and the major banking groups, and they make 25 times the profit within, I don't know, a month or two of you buying your house after the cooling off periods have finished, if they even exist anymore. And if everybody buys and pays for houses and gives them to their kids, then a few generations down the line, we're going to end up with banks collapsing. Oh, what a shame. Because they haven't got enough mortgage contracts to be able to sell for mega profit to boomerang back. So that's the bottom line. That's what's happening. And if all these people that have got to sell up, nobody can afford to mortgage, nobody can afford to get credit, nobody can afford to get deposits, nobody can afford the interest rates, everybody's credit's going to go to shit because people are going to just keep running up on more and more debt, then it means the only option is to rent. And what happens? Agents of the government and greedy landlords go round buying up all these properties, and they don't put them back up for sale, they put them on the rental market, because to them that's a perpetual income. You're renting, but you're effectively paying the capital on whatever mortgages they've got lent out, because they're going to profit from them. And then in the future, once all the towns and cities where the most lucrative properties and land plots are, once they're all bought up by agents and everybody that lives there is renting, then they can gentrify at the flick of a switch. They can get rid of people. They can cancel people's rental agreements after certain periods of time and shove everybody out of the cities into the suburbs and the countryside, so that they can flatten and rebuild these cities as metropolises with mega expensive miniature apartments, so that they can land bank them and flog them to their rich friends. It's all a big game, and you're not in it.